How do you configure a printing pool? A. Associate one print device with multiple printers. B. Associate multiple print devices with one printer. C. Associate multiple print devices with multiple printers. D. Associate one physical print gear port with multiple printers. The correct answer is associate multiple print devices with one printer. In heavily overloaded networks, cross-bar switching offers better performance than cell-backplane switching. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is false. You want to connect two networks that are both low Base2 Ethernet networks. The two networks are located in separate buildings so that they are approximately 1,000 meters apart. Which media should you use? A. Type 1 STP cable. B. RG58AU coaxial cable. C. Fiber optic cable. D. Wireless infrared. The correct answer is fiber optic cable. You install Windows NT Server on a computer, making the computer a backup domain controller in an existing domain. After installation, you discover that you used the wrong domain name. What should you do? A. Change the domain name by using Control Panel. B. Modify the domain name in the registry. C. Reinstall Windows NT Server. D. Change the domain name by using the emergency repair disk. The correct answer is reinstall Windows NT Server. In your company, two Ethernet networks are connected with a router. All network connections run TCP/IP. Your new client computer can access only the computers on your side of the router. All other computers are able to access one another. What is the most likely cause of the problem? A. Incorrect termination of the destination network. B. Defective network adapter in the router. C. Incorrect subnet mask on your client computer. D. Malfunctioning repeater. The correct answer is incorrect subnet mask on your client computer. From your client computer, you are able to access several servers on your 10 Base2 Ethernet network. However, you are not able to access a server named Red. Other client computers are able to access Red. What is the most likely cause of the problem? A. There is an incorrect IRQ setting on the network adapter in your client computer. B. There is a break in the cable. C. There is a protocol mismatch between your client computer and Red. D. An excessive number of collisions are occurring on the media. The correct answer is there is a protocol mismatch between your client computer and Red. Most routers can also act as bridges. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. Windows naming service WINS. A. Dynamically allocates IP addresses to client computers. B. Runs on Windows NTWS. C. Resolves computer names to IP addresses. D. Increases broadcast traffic. The correct answer is resolves computer names to IP addresses. What must you do to create a printer pool containing 4 shared printers on your Windows NT Server computer? A. Set up all the printers to share the same parallel port. B. Set individual printer properties for each printer. C. Set up all printers as network interface printer devices. D. Specify the same printer driver and settings for all printers. The correct answer is specify the same printer driver and settings for all printers. Assume you are the administrator of the tuner domain. You need to allow Lisa from the BAS domain to administrate the tuner domain while you are on vacation. A one-way trust relationship has been set up so that tuner trusts BAS. Which group assignments would accomplish your needs? A. Create a global group in the tuner domain called tuner admins that contains the BASSW Lisa user account. Add the tuner admins group to the local administrators group in tuner. B. Create a local group in tuner called tuner admins that contains the BASSW Lisa user account. Add the tuner admins group to the global domain admins group in tuner. C. Create a global group in BAS called GBL admins that contains the Lisa user account. Add the BASS GBL admins group to the local administrators group in tuner. D. Create a local group in BAS called LOC admins that contains the Lisa user account. Create a global group in tuner called tuner admins that contains the BASSWLOC admins group. Add the tuner admins group to the local administrators group in tuner. The correct answer is: create a global group in BAS called GBL admins that contains the Lisa user account. Add the BASS GBL admins group to the local administrators group in tuner. Which of the following statements about a local group account created by user manager for domains is true? A. The account can be added to global groups. B. The account cannot be used in trusting domains. C. The account is added to the domain users group automatically. D. The account must be added to a local group to use domain resources. The correct answer is: the account cannot be used in trusting domains. Peter uses a Microsoft Windows 95 computer. What should he do to be able to administer domain user accounts from his computer? A. Install User Manager for domains on his computer. B. Install the client-based network administration tools on his computer. C. Install Windows NT Server on his computer. D. Install Windows NT Workstation on his computer. The correct answer is: install the client-based network administration tools on his computer. You are setting up a network in a school. You need to network 5 computers for the file and printer sharing. You want to use some donated cable and Ethernet adapters. You identify the donated adapters as ARCnet coaxial network adapters and 10 Base2 Ethernet network adapters. You install an Ethernet adapter in each of the 5 computers and connect the donated cable. The computers are not able to maintain reliable communication. You suspect that you are not using the correct type of coaxial cable. Which type of coaxial cable should you be using? A. RG58AU. B. RG59AU. C. RJ11. D. RJ45. The correct answer is RG58AU. The rating in bits per second for UTP Cat 5 wiring is A. 100 Mbps. B. 10 Mbps. C. 4 Mbps. D. 2 Mbps. The correct answer is 100 Mbps. In building cabling, horizontal wiring from the telecommunications closet TC to the wall outlet has a distance limitation of A. 3 meters. B. 6 meters. C. 90 meters. D. 300 meters. The correct answer is 90 meters. You are installing a network interface card on a computer with the following configuration: a 5867133 CPU, 16 MB or RAM, a 800 MB IDE hard disk, a parallel port configured as LPT1 and a serial port configured as COM1 which is currently used by a mouse. In addition to the IDE host adapter and the video card, the following devices have been installed on the computer's expansion bus: a modem on COM2, a SCSI host adapter for a CD-ROM drive, and a sound card. The SCSI host adapter is using IRQ5 and the sound card is using IRQ11. The network interface card that you are installing supports the following choices for IRQ 234 5th September 2010 and 11. Which IRQs could you use for the network interface card without creating an IRQ conflict with another device? A2, B4, C5, D10. The correct answer is 10. Which layers of the OSI model are managed by a network protocol such as Microsoft NetBEUI? A. Network and transport. B. Physical and data link. C. Transport and session. D. Media access control and logical link control. The correct answer is network and transport. What does the transport protocol do? A. It defines how data should be presented to the next receiving layer, packages the data accordingly, and then passes the data to the application through the session layer interface. B. It provides low-level access to the network adapters by providing data transmission support and some basic adapter management functions. C. It supports communications between applications on different computers by creating sessions, defining data exchange formats, and providing application support services. D. It is responsible for establishing logical names on the network, establishing connections between two logical names on the network, and supporting reliable data transfer between computers that have established a session. The correct answer is it defines how data should be presented to the next receiving layer, packages the data accordingly, and then passes the data to the application through the session layer interface. Bridges operate at the MAC layer, layer 2 of the OSI model. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. You need to install network adapters in 20 ISA bus computers. Which rule must you follow when installing the network adapters? A. All adapters in a computer including the network adapter must be set to the same IRQ. B. All adapters in a computer including the network adapter must be set to different IRQs. C. All network adapters in all computers on the same network must be set to the same IRQ. D. All network adapters in all computers on the same network must be set to different IRQs. The correct answer is all adapters in a computer including the network adapter must be set to different IRQs. Routers are often used to implement firewalls. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. You are adding a new server to your network. The network uses TCP/IP. The new server will provide users with dial-up access to network resources. The data link communications protocol you choose for dial-up access must allow you to provide secure authentication. Which protocol should you choose? A. PPP. B. DLC. C. D. The correct answer is PPP. Maria needs to install software on a Windows NT server computer which is a backup domain controller. When she attempts to log on to the server, she receives the message unable to log on locally. What must you do to enable Maria to log on to the server? A. In User Manager for Domains, define Maria as a local account. B. In User Manager for Domains, assign Maria to a group that has the right to log on locally. C. In the System option in Control Panel, select the setting that allows users to log on locally. D. In the System option in Control Panel, set the user environment variables to allow Maria to log on locally. The correct answer is in User Manager for Domains, assign Maria to a group that has the right to log on locally. Why does a high number of broadcast messages adversely affect overall network performance? A. Each broadcast message requires an acknowledgement packet from every computer on the network. B. No computer on the network can transmit data until each broadcast message has been acknowledged by every computer on the network. C. Broadcast messages are automatically routed to every segment of a LAN. D. Every computer on the network must process each broadcast message. The correct answer is every computer on the network must process each broadcast message. You want to find out which users are currently using a specific directory on a Windows NT server computer. How should you do this? A. Use Windows NT Explorer. B. Use Disk Administrator. C. Use Server Manager. D. Use User Manager for domains. The correct answer is use Server Manager. Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol DHCP. A is the same as boot. B uses static allocation of IP addresses. C helps prevent conflicts between assigned IP addresses. D assigns IP addresses which when allocated cannot be reused. The correct answer is helps prevent conflicts between assigned IP addresses. Bridges are ideally used in environments where there are a number of well-defined work groups. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. A company has a department that consists of 15 engineers. The engineers have data that needs to be accessible only to their own team. The department continually has engineers arriving and departing, and it is difficult to identify a single administrator for the department. Which model would be the best for this situation? A master domain mode with each engineer trusting the master domain and the data stored on the server. B. A single domain mode with all data kept on the controller for the domain. C. A complete trust mode with each engineer's computer trusting the other engineer's computers. D. A work group mode with each engineer administering his or her own computer. The correct answer is a work group mode with each engineer administering his or her own computer. A one-way trust relationship has been established in which the research domain trusts the testing domain. The guest account is disabled in both domains. As a user belonging to a global group called testers in the testing domain, you want to access a shared directory on a Windows NT Advanced server in the research domain. Which action would give you access? A. No action is necessary as access is already available. B. The testers group must be assigned permissions to the shared directory on the Windows NT Advanced server in the research domain. C. The testers group must be assigned permissions to the shared directory on the Windows NT Advanced server in the research domain, and the user must log on to the research domain. D. None of the above. The correct answer is the testers group must be assigned permissions to the shared directory on the Windows NT Advanced server in the research domain. Assume that all users are members of the ACE domain and that most of the resources exist in the pubs and CAD domains. You are a user with administrator rights in all domains. How would you allow users to access all of the resources with a minimum set of trust relationships? A. Establish one-way trust relationships in which pubs trusts ACE, CAD trusts ACE. B. Establish one-way trust relationships in which ACE trusts pubs, ACE trusts CAD. C. Establish one-way trust relationships in which pubs trusts ACE, CAD trusts pubs. D. Establish one-way trust relationships in which pubs trusts ACE, ACE trusts CAD. The correct answer is establish one-way trust relationships in which pubs trusts ACE, CAD trusts ACE.